That's what India's prime minister is calling the plane crash in the city of Ahmedabad. The Air India flight to London went down seconds after takeoff, crashed in a fiery explosion into a building. The city's police commissioner just said it appears there are no survivors.
And a report on the ground that some 30 bodies, 30 killed, were pulled from a building that was hit by the plane. It remains to be seen whether the individuals were actually killed inside the building or they were extracted from the plane.
There were more than 240 passengers and crew on board, and Fox's Greg Palcott also reports.
It's a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner. It has never had an accident since its inception in service in 2009.
Way too early to know what went wrong on the Air India flight. Iran's nuclear program under further scrutiny. The UN's nuclear watchdog says Iran in violation as it refuses to stop enriching uranium to make nuclear fuel and plans to build a new enrichment site. President Trump says he won't let Iran build weapons, and there are reports Israel may be ready to attack Iran's nuclear sites. It's been quiet early this morning in Los Angeles. A curfew in place downtown a second night as the anger over illegal immigration raids spreads.
We saw protests last night in Seattle, in Las Vegas, in San Antonio, Texas, and of course in New York City. If there is any good news to all of that, it's that law enforcement in all of those cities appeared to have a good handle on the protests, none of which really got out of hand in the way that we have seen some of the protests here in L.A.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. Marines will soon join National Guard troops President Trump deployed. He just posted on Truth Social, without the military, Los Angeles would be a crime scene like we haven't seen in years. Well, California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is fighting that deployment as illegal and immoral in federal court, inflaming the situation. There'll be a hearing on that today. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Harvey Weinstein has been found guilty again in New York City at his sexual assault and rape retrial after his first convictions were overturned on appeal. But the former movie producer was also acquitted on another count, and deliberations continue.
A rape allegation by accuser Jessica Mann is still under discussion by the jury, but 2 counts of forcing criminal sex acts have all jurors in agreement. It said Miriam Haley's claim against Weinstein was proven, and it gave her hope.
That there is new awareness around sexual violence, and that the myth of the perfect victim is fading.
And while another victim, Kaya Sokola's claim was denied, she focused on another outcome.
I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that standing here right now will give courage to others to speak up.
Weinstein's defense attorneys have called for a mistrial, citing tension and threats among the jury. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Later this hour, we'll get another inflation report at the wholesale level. The day after a report showing less than expected inflation of consumer prices in May. On Wall Street, stocks could drop down. Futures have been down more than 200 points. In the basketball playoffs,
the Pacers defeated the Thunder 116-107 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals Wednesday night, taking a 2-1 lead in the series.
The Pacers' dream of their first NBA title very much alive. They're 2 wins away from a championship.
That was courtesy of ESPN. The Thunder, winners of an NBA best 68 games, had 19 turnovers, which Indiana turned into 21 points. The Pacers were led by Benedict Mathurin, who had a playoff career-high 27 points off the bench. Game 4 of the series is Friday night in Indiana. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
Golf's third major tournament of the year underway this morning. The U.S. Open at Oakmont in Pennsylvania. Defending champ Bryson DeChambeau just teed off, so did Rory McIlroy. Scotty Scheffler, who won the PGA Championship last month, will play this afternoon. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, a lawsuit peeling back the curtain of what parents said their children faced while at school and practice in Ford County. It includes accusations of grooming and sexually assaulting kids for more than a decade, and the families feel that Paxton Buckley Lotus School District didn't do enough to stop it. School says there were complaints around teacher and coach Robert Pacey. Reports stretch back to 16 years. Champaign County Clerk and Recorder's Office relocating to the Bennett Administrative Center later this summer. The office will begin transitioning to the new location at 102 East Main Street, Urbana, from July 7th through the 18th. During this period, the office closed and will reopen July 21st. Well, personal information for 933 people, including 564 Illinois residents, compromised, according to the Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services. The department says HFS was the target of a phishing scam in February. Email sent from another government email account that had previously been hacked. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Man, there was Indian Air. There was Air India. I think I've been on both of them. There's a horrible crash this morning in India. It was a 787-8. I've been on those things. I mean, I don't know if I've been on the 8, the 7, the 9, the 10, whatever numbers they have. But anyway, a crash in India and a populated area.
Yeah, preparing for a 4,000-mile flight, 240 plus on board.
Well, it only holds is the. It depends on the type of 787, but I thought it was a 787-8, and that means it's a full flight.
Right.
So there's that's a horrible story. But apparently, you had a pilot with 7,000 hours of experience, and they're yelling Mayday at the takeoff.
Uh-oh.
They're going to Gatwick, which is not the main airport in London. It's Heathrow. But the Gatwick's across town, smaller airport. But, yeah, Soye, they don't know what happened. The landing gear was still engaged, so...
We've got the TV on in the studio with the billowing of the black smoke in the air.
So, I mean, you're thinking, all right, if it takes off, the landing gear is still out.
Yeah.
That must mean you're really distracted by something quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The engines can fly on one engine. I don't know. Bird strike? I don't think so. It wasn't very high up.
Maybe a load issue, weight issue.
Yeah,
maybe.
Right.
Maybe. I guess.
Maybe. I mean, I'm just.
You got a full gas. That's heavy. And
yeah, that didn't help.
You load up
over 3,000 or 33,000 gallons. It said.
Wow. Anyway, that's the big story here this morning internationally. ESPN 93.5, I'm Stevie J. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
We check our weather with our learned one. It's Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
A great time at Neighborhood Nights yesterday, and we're gearing up for the Juneteenth celebration on June 18th, and that will take place near the Health and Wellness Center. But today from 5:30 to 7, head to Victory Park for play days in the park. Lots of free stuff going on, and bike repairs, and free produce and new friends. It'll be a lot of fun. UrbanaParks.org.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier, you've got some rain and a little opportunity for moisture here coming up, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and we certainly need it. We'll have that drought monitor in hopefully here in the next hour, but wouldn't be surprised. We still have some moderate conditions to be dealt with over some areas of northeast and east central Illinois, northwest Indiana. Otherwise, everyone to the east and south in relatively good order with a kind of separating of weather systems that will all congeal around here in the coming days and set themselves right overhead with the jet stream right overhead and slightly to the north, Gulf moisture, daytime heating. And so pick your parameter and ingredient. Should be able to manufacture some degree of rainfall. So coverages, amounts, and intensities will vary each and every day, but probably are better days for at least a couple of 2 or 3 hours, maybe an hour or two of organized rainfall scheduled in here on Saturday, to a lesser degree on Father's Day Sunday, and then perhaps some slightly better odds as we head through the middle part of next week. But hopefully in the next 7 to 10 days, some meaningful rain across the area, but also meaningful warmth and humidity in the air, and even a couple of hot days approaching around our neck of the woods, the middle and late parts of next week, for example. In the meantime, out the door this morning, nice to have readings in the 60s as opposed to the 50s that we had here earlier on into the week. 66 down at Willard and Savoy. Later on today, 86 with a partly sunny, warm day's worth of weather. A little more humidity climb as the day wears on, and a light south wind, mostly cloudy tonight. Shower chances after midnight tonight. Low down to 67. Tomorrow, very cloudy skies. And again, a couple of showers and thunderstorms around morning, more so for the afternoon. Highs around 80. Then better than even chances tomorrow night into Saturday. Lesser chances on Sunday. Weekend highs of 83 Saturday. Father's Day high of 82. And each day, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms Monday through Wednesday next week with 80s by day and muggier mid to upper 60s at night. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier, ESPN 93.5. Hey, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys died.
I know, at the age of 82. And dementia was the cause. And, he had suffered with some mental health issues. And, I saw a biopic about him that was just fascinating, the life that he led. But also had some trouble with drugs along the way. And many musicians have. But what a, when you think of the Pet Sounds album and Good Vibrations, all the classic Beach Boys songs.
Essentially producing for, 50 years, 60 years?
Yes, I know. Yeah. So just a remarkable career, and his family's asking for some space and to respect their privacy at this time.
I actually saw them in concert, believe it or not. I haven't seen too many artists in concert in my life, but Beach Boys, it's just fun.
Yes.
It's just, how do you not dance to that?
Totally fun.
Really fun. Beach Boys. All right, off and running. Here we go. We got the plane crash in India. That's kind of a big international story. LA still doing what they do. Going to happen in a bunch of cities on Saturday. No Kings, I guess, is this organization. Just saying that Donald Trump wants to be a king, which is their narrative.
Oh.
So, I've got some stuff. I'm going to get to sports, and then maybe at 20 after, before we get John Decker on the phone, I'll play you an example of what some past Democratic presidents said about this stuff. Okay?
Okay.
Because you're saying, well, you're so right-wing and intolerant. Well, so was Bill Clinton and Obama, I guess.
Yeah, you got to get law and order.
Well, I mean,
the citizens of L.A. are in danger.
Listen, Donald Trump at about every rally, and I think he did 100 of them, said we're going to have the biggest mass deportation. Did he not say that so many times?
Right.
Everybody knew that. So then when it starts happening, you're screaming, you said criminals. No, we said actually mass deportation, because you're here on a felony. Yes, a felony for coming into our country uninvited. Mm-hmm. But, don't take it from me. Take it from Bill Clinton and Barack Obama coming up. Adamant about learning English and waiting in line. That's Obama. So did I go right or did you go left? Y'all went left.
Mm-hmm.
You drove a Kennedy out of the Democratic Party. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. They couldn't stand it. Joe Manchin, all these people that have fled the deal, that were normal, I call them normal Democrats, that now it's just nuts. It's out of whack. And if you don't realize that and you kind of go with the flow, because that's what your party's doing, you got to tell the progressives you got to go home and leave and create your own thing and leave me alone so I can create more of an American kind of a platform that the majority agree with. So you have all that. So we'll get to these clips here coming up in a few moments.
Will there be a reset before the presidential election in 2028? Maybe a three-party system.
Well, it might be. I mean,
with independence.
Yeah,
I mean something to reckon with.
Most people claim independent versus Republican or Democrat these days. So we'll just have to see. All right, sports headlines.
So Blue Jays swept the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Has it been like 4 losses in a row?
Yeah. I would say this, that it's a predictable thing.
Okay.
When a young team is playing as well as the Cardinals did in May, the Dodgers! And they beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3. And there's something called, after a musical, like you put on a show, there's a letdown.
Yeah, you're right.
The young teams get let down.
Okay.
So now they're let down. And the Cardinal fans are now back to folding their arms, going, I told you they weren't any good.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I got yesterday, St. Pat's in the parish hall at our senior luncheon. I was talking with some relatives of Midstoffers about avid Carnival fans, asking about, our bus trip to Busch and things like that, but also saying, what's going on with my Cardinals?
Well, they beat the Dodgers now. They beat the world champions 2 out of 3. It was exciting. And then Toronto comes in, it's a very good team.
Yes.
And Cardinals come in and beat them 3. 2 really good games that were tough losses. Cardinals had them.
Uh-huh.
And the 9th inning didn't work so well the first 2 games.
The final score was 5-2, and we have your Redbird recap for you.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals are on the road beginning a 4-game series in Milwaukee tonight. But yesterday at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals had a 2-0 lead after 2, and then a 2-run inning followed by another 2-run inning, then a home run by Clement. Toronto had a 5-2 lead, and that was the final score as the Blue Jays swept the 3-game series.
Cardinals bullpen was good, but not a good start for Matthew Liberatore. That's 3 in a row for him where he has not been sharp through the first 5 innings of the game, and Matthew Liberatore's got to get it back again. And the Cardinals' rotation in general is starting to give up a lot of hits. Blue Jays a very good team, and they sweep the Cardinals at home. First time the Cardinals have been swept at home in 2025.
The bullpen more effective yesterday, but Matthew Liberatore gave up 5 runs.
Really liked what we saw out of Riley O'Brien, especially. Chris Roycroft also threw 2 innings of scoreless ball. So at least they kept it close, but no comeback.
Sonny Gray is on the mound tonight. We're on the air at 5:45.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Phillies over the Cubs 7-2. Now they'll face the Pirates with a 7:05 start over on US 105.9. Houston over the Chicago White Sox 10-2, and that series continues at 7:10. Well, Game 3, did you see any of the Pacers over Oklahoma City 116-107?
I meant to, and I told you I was doing yard work, so I got in, and I don't remember much of the rest of the night. So that's what happens to
you. Really deep dive.
When you turn 105, you'll all understand. Okay, so I don't remember much of the rest of the night. I didn't see a thing. What happened?
It was 116-107. Pacers
wow,
on top.
Wow, how about that?
I know.
Wow, Pacers.
So Game 3. Now the Pacers are up 2-1, and tomorrow we'll have Game 4 over in Indianapolis. Also, the Stanley Cup is going on tonight with the Edmonton Oilers at the Florida Panthers, and right now the Florida Panthers are leading that 2-1. It's at 7 o'clock this evening. If you want to check it out.
And all the wonderful hockey fans, that's wonderful. But for me, it'd be like watching cricket.
It's just
hard
to see the puck.
I played cricket, and I still don't quite understand what I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I don't really understand. I know they're trying to score, but I can't tell where the puck is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, if I'm watching baseball, I can't see the ball. I'm not that interested.
Those guys are just so brutal, too, when they crash into each other.
But I can't believe
smash each other against the window. And boom.
I need to ask Lonte if he truly can see the puck.
Right.
Because if you can't, I don't know where the scoring tool went. So why am I... Soccer, I can see the ball.
I feel like there was a time where they had like a glowing effect on
They tried that, and I think the purists went nuts. Weather brought to you by Carl.
And Carl reminds you, always looking for members of the team in case you're interested in a healthcare career. You can apply, carl.org/careers.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and Memphis Saturday, and a little more active and moisture-laden weather pattern shaping up here over the end portion of the week, over the weekend, including Father's Day, and we'll get into daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms the better part of next week, as well as the warm and humid summery weather pattern continues on. Up to 86 today, a partly sunny sky, a pickup in humidity, and a light south wind. Mostly cloudy tonight, threat for a shower and thunderstorm after midnight tonight. Lows down to about 67. Tomorrow, very cloudy, humid, couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Scattered coverage is there, the high around 80. More shower and thunderstorm activity scattered tomorrow night, lows near 70. And some pretty good odds at rainfall for both Saturday and to a lesser degree on Sunday, though. Highs up to 83 on Saturday. Sunday high, Father's Day high of about 82. Then daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms Monday through Friday next week. Nighttime readings in the 60s, daytime readings into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice Greg Solgay.
We will have a Stever for you, my friends. Stand by. We will give you this opportunity. I'll give you a clue what it is because we'll be with it here in just a few minutes.
I love it.
If you need an appliance, I'll give you the best appliance deal you'll ever get.
Sounds awesome.
So if you stand by, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is standing by.
And it's totally free to go online and be a part of this at GoStever.com.
Yep. This might be via text. I haven't decided. It might be both. All right, you got to check your Fox Business. Come right back. John Decker, 10 minutes away on this Thursday.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to the producer price index for last month, prices at the wholesale level, after the consumer price index for May came in cooler than expected. The Bojangles chicken chain is looking into selling itself. The Wall Street Journal says the sale could value the company at more than $1.5 billion, roughly 3 times the price it sold for in a buyout in 2019. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz is giving new CEO Brian Niccol a full endorsement. Schultz says he's never been more optimistic about the company's future. Schultz told a meeting of more than 14,000 managers and other company leaders that Niccol's plan to expand full-time assistant store managers and test new products is brilliant. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We asked people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
What is the name of the coffee shop in the sitcom Friends?
Mel's Diner.
Central Perk. The answer? Central Perk. Either way, you can always try again tomorrow. Take the quiz every day at thequiz.fox, then come back here to see how you did.
And thank you for taking the quiz.
So I was mentioning the incredible situation in Los Angeles. Let's begin with Caroline Leavitt. She's the White House spokesperson.
Mm-hmm. In other words, the position of the Democrat Party is that the federal government is not allowed to enforce our laws and to arrest and deport illegal alien criminals.
All right, that's all fact. You're protesting what is a legal deportation. You know, they're the Gestapo. Okay.
They're attempting to use a violent mob as a weapon against their own constituents to prevent the enforcement of immigration law. This is deeply un-American and morally reprehensible. President Trump received a clear mandate from voters to reverse the illegal invasion ushered in by Joe Biden's open border and to end the lawlessness represented by Karen Bass in Gavin Newsom's California. President Trump promised to carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history, and left-wing riots will not deter him in that effort. Sanctuary cities and states will no longer be allowed to shield illegal criminals from deportation. Just take a look at some of the illegal monsters who were taken off the streets in Los Angeles in recent days. A Vietnamese national, a known gang member with a conviction for second-degree murder. A Mexican national with convictions for child molestation who was armed with a dangerous weapon and had previous arrests for robbery and domestic violence. A Filipino national with convictions of rape, assault, burglary, and theft.
So on and on they go. She's listening to people. She's telling you these are bad. And then the other side is, oh, well, you said you'd get the criminal. No, they said mass deportations. Go back and look at the rallies. Biggest mass deportations in the history of America. That's what he promised. All right, so let's go back. Bill Clinton's State of the Union in the 1990s.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
That sounds like a Republican, doesn't it? Wow. Yeah, he sounds serious.
By cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to...
You're not supposed to say illegal aliens. Gosh, what a bigot.
Do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan.
All right, so now Barack Obama, this is 3 different versions, kind of the most current, then kind of when he was campaigning, What's Obama think about people coming in here uninvited?
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable. We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully. This is not.
Well, can you jump the line? Maybe Barack Obama, you'll let them jump the line if they just come in by themselves first.
It's not going to be a free ride. It's not going to be some instant amnesty. What's going to happen is you are going to pay a significant fine. You are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally. But after you've done these things over a certain period of time, you can earn your citizenship.
So what's happened is the progressives have hijacked the Democrats. That's Clinton and Obama.
Yep.
They're saying exactly what Trump's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting applause. And now it's no kings. Now it's like, okay, we got to get rid of this dictator, authoritarianism. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. You're welcome to text 217-359-2255. Am I wrong? Did I change, or did the left go nuts and get control? That's what happened. Democratic Party? I think not. John Kennedy wouldn't be a Democrat today. He's not a progressive.
Right.
He was never. He had tax cuts. It doesn't make sense. So you've got to do something to rid yourself of the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders, the socialists, and the Marxists, the fascists. They're all mixed together. And do something. Otherwise, good luck. Because if you're promoting that you want these, begin with the criminals, but just they all broke the law. They're not welcome. If you take your door off your front door of your home and somebody comes and lays on your couch and they won't leave, okay, then you just accept them, because that's what we do. We don't. Okay. We don't deport
when you put
them.
it that way, Stevie.
Well, it's the closest, most personal way to say it. If you look at your country at your house, you wouldn't allow anybody in until you vet them.
Mm-hmm.
We're a country of immigrants, but we have to go back to rule of law. It's chaos without it. Look at some of these cities. Look at London. Look at Paris. They allowed it because they were humane. Wow. And they might have lost their countries.
Right.
All right, we have a Stever. It is Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. We're going to start with the text. Fisher National Bank text line. You text in DVD or Dick Van Dyke, you'll jump to the front of the line, unlike what Obama, that bigoted president, wouldn't let them jump the line for coming in. Anyway, you'll have more priority if you text, and then I'll probably put it at gostever.com later. Anyway, 217-359-2255. What I have is $500 off when you buy an appliance.
Awesome. So if you need to upgrade, or maybe your appliances are on the fritz, this is the time to act on that.
No, it is absolutely the time. So, again, I don't know. Please show me anywhere else you would have a deal like this.
Right. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, located at 1510 North Neal Street, right off of I-74 in Champaign.
Go to London, go to Sri Lanka, go to Vietnam, go to Japan, go to Hawaii, and ask for $500 off on your Stever deal.
Right.
See the expression on their face.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to spend $1,000, which is pretty easy. Dishwashers can cost over $1,000 now.
Yeah.
So it's $500 off. If you spend $3,000, you only pay $2,500.
If you'd like to investigate appliance-world.com, you can look at what your next appliance should be and the kind of $500 off deal you'll get from us. Are we texting in DVD to 359-2255?
Text in DVD to 359-2255, and we'll get you going. So there's that. All right. Again, 217-359-2255. 2255 and just text in Dick Van Dyke or DVD. Because you're listening, you get a little inside before we go live on GoStever.com. Okay, that'll be that. We're going to come back. We have John Decker, Gray Television's White House correspondent. He's on the front lines. He's at the White House almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Oval Office to the point of Forrest Gump. Going to the Oval Office again. He's there all the time.
I know.
And he does not take it for granted.
We talked yesterday about how small that press room is, too.
I'm going to ask him that today.
Okay.
I want to know dimensions because I think it's itty bitty. I mean, it's like 10 people over.
Right.
That's not very big. All right, we'll be back. It's time for Fox News, and we'll get Jim Miller, then we'll get Greg Solier before we get to John Decker. Stand by, my friends, at 7:30 in Champaign-Urbana, ESPN 93.5.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. An air disaster in India. Fox's Craig Palcott in London.
7878 Dreamliner Boeing plane was taking off from a city called Ahmedabad. That is in the northwestern part of India. It crashed literally within about a minute after takeoff.
Local police reporting there appears to be no survivors. Destination London's Gatwick Airport. 53 of the more than 240 people on board were British. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying his thoughts are with the passengers and their families at this deeply distressing time. President Trump on Truth Social this morning posting, LA was safe and sound for the last 2 nights. Our great National Guard, with a little help from the Marines, put the LA police in a position to effectively do their job. A curfew in parts of downtown LA in effect until 6 a.m. local time. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A council bill allowing the Champaign Fire Department to move forward with an architectural firm to construct the new fire station number 3 passed unanimously in Tuesday night's meeting. Champaign Fire trying to build a new Station 3 in the corner of Neal Street and Bradley Avenue. City of Champaign Township Board voted to spend nearly $86,000 on new flooring at the Stride Shelter, and while that upgrade is in the works, there's also new hope the shelter may stay open through next June. The upgrade approved with a unanimous vote from the Township Board, and the good news, it's covered by state funding. Personnel information of 933 people, including 564 Illinois residents, compromised, according to the Department of Health Care and Family Services. HFS, the target of a phishing scam in February. Email sent from another government email account that had previously been hacked. So they appeared trustworthy. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. All right, ESPN 93.5. We check your weather forecast. Things are going to change. Today looks fine, but then kind of coming in with some rain, probably after midnight, I think is what Greg says. So there is that. John Decker standing by. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check meteorologist Greg Solier's weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and a little more active and moisture-laden weather pattern shaping up here over the end portion of the week, over the weekend, including Father's Day, and we'll get into daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms the better part of next week, as well as the warm and humid summery weather pattern continues on. Up to 86 today, a partly sunny sky, a pickup in humidity, and a light south wind. Mostly cloudy tonight, threat for a shower and thunderstorm after midnight tonight, lows down to about 67. Tomorrow, very cloudy, humid, couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Scattered coverage is there, the high around 80. More shower and thunderstorm activity scattered tomorrow night, lows near 70. And some pretty good odds at rainfall for both Saturday and to a lesser degree on Sunday, though. Highs up to 83 on Saturday. Sunday high, Father's Day high of about 82. Then daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms Monday through Friday next week. Nighttime readings in the 60s, daytime readings into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice Greg Solier.
All right, so John Decker has jumped on. I've been talking to Diane about the measurements of the White House press room, and I said it's itty bitty. How small or large is your press room, Mr. Decker?
Oh, it's small. It's small. It's small, Stevie. It's 49 seats, 7 rows of 7. People are shocked and surprised when I take them on tours of the briefing room how small it is because they see it on television. They think it's a lot larger. Yeah, and people are always surprised by that.
Yeah. Okay. So why? we got space. Let's knock out the
upgrade.
I know how to build a wall because my kids know how to build a wall. So we'll knock that drywall out and build it bigger.
Yeah. Well, look, the president, from what I understand, is in the process of planning to build a ballroom
Wow.
at the White House. There is construction that's been taking place this week for 2 new enormous flagpoles at the White House, both on the front and back lawns of the White House. So why not? Why not increase the size of the briefing room? I just don't think that's a priority for the president. You know, Stevie, I'm surprised no music today.
Well, we were having technical difficulties, so I was punting until you mentioned it.
Right.
So that's fine because I think it might be fixed. It might.
Okay.
It just might.
So we'll get our official start, possibly.
Well, I think because you can't do Thursday without this. John Decker. John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker. John Decker.
Yes, children and tractors across America.
Got to get little Stevie in.
Singing the theme.
Uh-huh.
Someday it'll be on John's ringtone. Someday.
Yes.
Someday.
And it'll go off during a White House press briefing,
That's
right?
what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's John Decker, Great Television's White House correspondent, national correspondent. Yeah. It's a plane crash in India was like, I lived in India when
what
I
a
was just 10.
terrible thing.
Yeah, but it's just taking off. Mayday, Mayday. What the heck could it I mean,
Yeah.
too heavy?
I don't know.
Too heavy?
I don't know. I mean, I think in this day and age, you have to look first and foremost. Again, I'm not an investigator, but you have to think about terrorism as a possibility, really, as a possibility when you're talking about this happening. You're talking about a Boeing jet that hasn't had many issues, if any, the Dreamliner.
Yeah,
So, that's the reason why I say, what could it be? And maybe that's the answer.
Well, okay, they're going to investigate. This is in India in an area, and they say, I heard an aviation guy on, I think Fox had it earlier, where the problem is people take souvenirs when they see a crash. That's just,
wow.
Because they're taking pieces
That's
of plane.
morbid.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But they see a piece of a plane and they grab a fragment, and the investigators are going to need everything to find the black boxes, all of that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
But man,
Yes.
it's a tough one. All right,
You have to.
Go ahead.
I was going to say you have to seal off that area to
Yeah.
the extent that you can, so that you prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's debris scattered, over a large area, but if it's not, if it's just in this one area, then you just have to seal off that area to allow investigators to do their work.
Well, and there's just a lot of people in that area too. God knows how much the count's going to be. It's going to be a lot. All right, John Decker is with us. I just got done playing Caroline Levitt in the press room. Probably you were there. Was it yesterday? Anyway, talking about we're arresting these bad people and all this stuff, and then they're saying, well, you said they're going after criminals. No, Donald Trump says it's going to be the biggest mass deportations. I think he said it at every rally. So it's not a shock that he's doing this. But, John,
that's right.
Then I played clips of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama saying the exact same thing. So I didn't change. The left got taken over by the progressive.
Well, and Megan texted in at 359-2255. The difference there is Biden and Clinton were all talk. Trump is walking the walk.
Well, it's not easy doing what he's doing. But what is your take on the evolution of the party, I guess, from the standpoint of what they used to be and what they are?
Well, the party of Bill Clinton, from when he was elected, first in 92 and then elected again in 96, that party is so different from the party that exists today. The party that existed in 92 and 96, Clinton moved it to the center, as you can move the Democratic Party, and he ran as a centrist who worked across the aisle. You think about welfare reform. That was done in a bipartisan fashion between Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich, who was the Speaker of the House at the time. I can't imagine Democrats working together, on big pieces of legislation that affect so many in this day and age. I mean, it's just unfortunate that there's not that kind of effort right now. As it relates to what the president's trying to do, his goal is rounding up 3,000, that's a lot, 3,000 individuals per day, every day, all across the country who are in the country illegally. So they don't necessarily, Stevie and Diane, have to have a criminal background to be rounded up. They could just be overstaying a visa, and they could potentially be caught up in this roundup.
Yeah, and I think, people, I don't know what, you can't essentially, I don't think, go to L.A. and say, the mob say we have to stop or they're not going to stop. We better stop. That's not going to happen. I mean, we can't acquiesce to that, can we? As a country, we are a country of immigrants, yes, but a country of laws, I think.
That's right. That's exactly right. There's a legal way to enter into this country. There's a legal way, a pathway to citizenship, and you obviously have to be a country of laws. Otherwise, I think the word will go out worldwide. Hey, go to the U.S. Go to the U.S. Doesn't matter if you're entering legally or illegally. You can start a better life there. And this is the best country on earth. That's why everyone wants to be here. But there's a process to do that. And, unfortunately, I think during the Biden years, it wasn't made clear to individuals that you needed to come to the U.S. and go through a legal fashion in terms of entering into the United States.
I think what they have to do is what Jim Carville said. You got to get rid of the progressive third party. And then I tell you what, here's your strategy. You go talk Harold Ford Jr. into running, because I'm telling you, there are Republicans there'd be some Republicans that vote for Harold Ford Jr. That guy, I think, is really sharp. He represents way more of America than any Democrat I know. Except John Fetterman. I listen to John Fetterman going, that guy makes sense. What's up? He really does. Yeah. I couldn't believe he got elected. He was obviously compromised with the stroke and everything else, but he's one guy, kind of like Joe Manchin, come out and said, no, that doesn't make sense. And you appreciate that for one Democrat that doesn't necessarily stick like Velcro to the rest of the party.
Yeah. Well, look, as it relates to Harold Ford, I know Harold, because I worked at Fox News, and I agree with you, but I think he's done with politics. I think he likes his life in the private sector, and living in New York, and, remember his home state's Tennessee.
Right.
But, you never know. You never rule out anything. I've seen instances before where I always thought, well, they're pretty comfortable in the private sector. Perfect example of that. Haley Barbour going back to Mississippi to be the governor of Mississippi. And, I have a lot of respect for Haley. I've known him for decades. But there aren't a lot of people like Haley Barbour that, give up their private life, to go back into public service.
Yeah, I know. I think it should be kind of like the Pope. You shouldn't want it. You talk a guy. Right. I don't think George Washington wanted to go back to Washington. I think he was happy at Mount Vernon, man. I don't think he wanted it. And then he kind of, to serve the country, that's the kind of no, I don't think it should be career. I really don't. I think you serve and come back to your city. That's what I think. I like that.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't happen all that often. You have these career politicians, they get to Washington and they just want to, be dragged out of Washington, one way or another, and typically they make this a career, being in Washington D.C. There are very few that say, you know what, I've served my time, I'm going back home, and going back to the private sector and giving someone else an opportunity to represent their district or their state. That's just the way it is.
All right, here's a whistleblower per se. This is fascinating.
I just got offered $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York. The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th we're going to be protesting, and these are the streets that you need to be on, and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions, and they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere that protesters could use. They really want to wreak havoc. It's kind of ridiculous. Me as an American, although I need the money, I'm like, this is very, very unpatriotic. If I was to go take this money and go protest, it's not very American. It's not what I stand for. It's obviously not even, worth the time. But, $200 a day is what they're paying people to go protest. The corruption is up here because it goes way beyond these organizations. They want to destroy America.
I mean, that's just, first of all, seems like a nice kid, but you could tell there was a number there that he'd have gone. It's not worth my time, $200, but how about $2,500? You're going to go throw a brook.
Right.
You're paying people to break the law. I mean, you could mingle around and not do anything, I guess, but then you go and try and get paid. You didn't do anything. Somebody was watching, and then what are you going to do? Go to the police because the bad guy didn't give you your money? What do you do then? John, what a mess. What a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a mess. I agree with you. I don't know if every protester out on the street, for instance, in Los Angeles, is a paid protester. I think that's a broad brush. I think there are people out there that are protesting because, they're exercising their First Amendment rights and they don't like the way the administration has carried out, various immigration policies. But are there people that, potentially are being paid to do this? Absolutely. I always think, our adversaries like Russia, that's nothing for them to drop some money, to see the U.S. Being portrayed in the way it's being portrayed around the world. So I know the focus is always on like these far left groups. I wouldn't put it past the Russians to, try to pay protesters to cause havoc in our country.
Well, again, it's where we are, but it's really hard to figure out how we come together. We're not going to do it at the Olympics because there'll be somebody trans that want to. I mean, there's just a division. It used to be. There were moments. The Olympics were one absolute. We came together as a nation and we're excited for the athlete. I don't think you can get that. You can't get that anymore. I don't think.
I think that's one of those. I love sports, so you know how I love sports so much, Stevie. I think that's one of those rare places where you see some unity. I see that, at Super Bowl parades, but it only lasts for a day.
Yeah.
It only lasts for one day. It's not something that lasts for a really long period of time, which is unfortunate. But yeah, there is a lot of division in our country, and it's existed for quite some time. It's a sad thing, really.
Well, because you go find the athlete that you love sent a tweet in 2011, and you can't believe what he said. I mean that's just where we are. We're vulnerable with the social media.
Yeah.
By the way, the Terry Moran thing. He said he's not renewing his contract. Right, they just pulled his contract, and he's gone from ABC.
That's right.
What do you? I mean, does every journalist except John Decker do something on social media? Probably.
Yeah, I would say I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I think I'm the only White House correspondent who doesn't do the social media. I don't. To me, Stevie, I don't. I'm not knocking Terry Moran, individually, but people like him. I'm saying, why is your opinion so important that the world needs to know it? If you're a news person, if you're a person who wants to be seen as unbiased, then you should not be broadcasting your opinion about any particular public policy issue. So, as it relates to Terry Moran, I call it death by Twitter. I've always, I've seen this play itself out so many times and so many news organizations over the course of the past few decades. And here's another example of death by Twitter. A person who had a 30-year career at ABC News, and it's then cut short. It's not even cut short. It's just cut. Because of something that he had to post on social media, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, well, it is too bad, and
he's 65. I'm just learning.
He doesn't look it, by the way. But I just think
he looks good.
I think that late at night, emotional. Probably. I mean, you could speculate. I don't know if he drinks, but certainly most of that stuff happens when you're emotional and or drinking. I mean,
right?
You just wouldn't do that thinking normally. But I think the reason that they think people want to know because they think people want to know what you think because you're a big shot. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I don't do it. I don't know that, Stevie. I can't get inside the head of someone who would do that. And you're right. On a weekend, thoughts get in your head, and then you feel the necessity to share that thought late at night with the world. And of course, it's a thought that a news person, someone who wants to be seen as fair and balanced and unbiased, the necessity to share that, and we see the result of what happened.
Don't know if
I think ABC did the right thing, by the way, because it damages their brand when you have someone of high prominence like that putting out there what they put out there on social media.
In the article, it says Disney-owned ABC initially suspended Moran for the post because he violated the network's objectivity and impartiality in its news coverage.
Yeah, jokey joke. I'm sorry. I don't. Anyway, do you ever see Lord of the Rings movies, John?
Never.
Okay.
I've not seen one of them.
Wonderful. Anyway, Gollum had this passion for the ring.
Yes.
And he had to have the ring. I think there's something to social media where you have to have the approval and likes and go viral and influence people. I'm telling you, you know what? If I were president, I accidentally bumped the knob that turned off the internet. Because remember the early 1990s when you had to actually call somebody from a phone and go into a building, and I understand the necessity of being so efficient and doing 1,000 things at a time, and you can accomplish so much more and stay in touch. I get it. But I think if I had a chance to turn it off, I'd turn it off. I think there's a net bad in the social media world and internet in general, as amazing as it can be from the standpoint of efficiency and connection. I think it's ruined more people because of the pressures and the anxiety, particularly in kids. Kids.
Especially with young people.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with that. And I overhear conversations, in the briefing room at the White House of reporters saying to one another, "Thanks for the like."
Wow.
I mean, really? How old are you?
I know. Well, we're just human. You never grow out of the need to be wanted.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about it. We all want that. John Decker, you're awesome. You're the best journalist out there. And we really appreciate your candid thoughts on Thursday. So,
hey, Stevie, always a pleasure to be on. We got a big parade here in Washington this weekend, and we'll see. Hopefully, the weather holds out.
Yeah.
Right now, the weather's not looking great for that, but hopefully, the weather holds out. And military parades—they're always exciting. To me, they're the coolest.
Yeah,
they're the coolest kind of parade you can have.
Yeah, it'd be really neat to be
With
there.
Trump's
to see this.
birthday then?
Well, Trump's birthday, but also you're going to have all kinds of stuff.
And the Army's 250.
But you're going to have so many protests over the weekend. I think that's a given.
I see.
I hope not. I hope
Chicago,
it goes off without a hitch.
Philadelphia, there's a lot that I think's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, good having you on, and we can't wait till next Thursday.
I look forward to it. Have a great day, great weekend, Stevie and Diane. We'll talk to you next week.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you. That's John Decker. Weather now brought to you ahead of Did You Know? Nathaniel Son. Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
And if you want to enjoy the great outdoors indoors, Kramer Siding has a beautiful new sunroom they could design for you as you stop by their showroom or just explore at kramersiding.com.
All right, it's our meteorologist, Greg Solier.
So we get every month. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign event of Saturday. More typical June weather in our midst and increasing rainfall prospects as well going forward for the end part of the week, into the weekend, and early next week as well, with daily outbreaks and varying scope coverages, amounts, and intensities right through at least mid to late next week, including perhaps a couple of showers around for Father's Day Sunday. Partly sunny, warm for the day today. No mention of rain. Turning a bit more humid as the day wears on, up to 86 and a light south wind. Maybe a shower thunderstorm in spots after midnight tonight, and a dawn temperature down to 67. Tomorrow, variably cloudy, humid, couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Scattered, the high near 80. Down tomorrow night to around 70 with showers and thunderstorms early and late, and scattered showers and thunderstorms morning and afternoon on Saturday. Highs up to about 83 there. Then daily outbreaks expected for Sunday, Father's Day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with 80s by day and mid to upper 60s at night. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thursdays we call my son in Chicago, affectionately known as Nathaniel Son, kind of identify who he is. We do a feature called Did You Know? He does a feature called Did You Know? When I got a corn cob in my pocket, what am I talking about? It's Nathaniel does it. Nathaniel's son, how are you?
I'd say you're absolutely a contributor, Dad.
Well, I dialed the number, I guess. Anyway, it's Nathaniel's son in Chicago. Lovely Josephine, who I saw on Zoom, whatever we did last night. FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Yeah. You kids have all these terms. hard to keep up with all these terms. Like, number 2 lead pencil right over there.
There you go.
Sharpener on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's Nathaniel's son. Did you know? What are we talking about today, son?
Well, this morning we get to have a short little segment for all of the truck lovers and truck enthusiasts today, which, Dad, technically you would fall in the category of.
Yep.
You are a truck owner.
Yes, sir.
What we're going to talk about today is hopefully bringing to light something that I had always wondered and recently learned, and that is the numbers on a truck, meaning whatever they mean. If you're anything like me, you've wondered, well, there's an F-150 with Ford, and then Ford has an F-250 and an F-350. But then you go over to General Motors, and they call it a 1500 and a 2500, and et cetera. And I've always wondered what those numbers actually mean. Well, they don't relate at all to the size of the engine. They don't relate at all to the towing capacity. What they do indicate is payload. Now, you might be wondering, what is payload? Payload is simply the amount of weight a vehicle is safely designed to carry. So that includes all the people inside the cab and everything that you would put in the bed of the truck. Now, you've probably heard the term a half-ton truck.
Half-ton truck, yep.
Correct. That's the lowest model. And to remind all of ourselves, a ton is how many pounds? 2,000 pounds. So a half-ton truck means that you could safely load 1,000 pounds into the bed of the truck. Now, what's interesting is that you would think, okay, well, why wouldn't they have just called it the Ford F-100 or 1,000 or the Chevy 1,000? Well, originally, when Ford first launched the truck, it actually was the F-100. In 1975, they started selling the F-150, sort of as an in-between model. And eventually, they just dropped the F-100 and went with the F-150, 250, 350. And that's where General Motors and Dodge shortly followed suit. So that's how we ended up with the number today. Unfortunately, they don't line up exactly with how much weight you can carry, but they are indicative of tonnage, how much you can safely put in the bed.
All right, so what about pulling like a boat? Is there any...
It's entirely separate. You just have to look it up per vehicle. It's different per truck.
Okay.
There's a guy
it would have been nice if they would have thought of that and put that in the name.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I had never, ever... I thought it was engine size. That's what I would have guessed.
So now we know it's the duty class and payload capacity.
There you go.
That's right.
That's good stuff. Because these trucks can.
Well, you got a boat to tow, so you should. I bet you know the towing capacity of your truck.
Yeah, I don't. It can tow the boat my size.
Okay.
A dinghy. I think.
A little canoe.
Christian call it "Hope She Floats." So
okay.
Anyway, no, it's good. But I've always loved trucks. I mean, you sit so high in the cab. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that. Nathaniel's son in Chicago. Be careful. I think there's going to be a bunch of protests up there this weekend. So.
Well, fortunately, we live far enough outside of downtown that we're pretty well insulated, but good to know.
You're closer to O'Hare. I love your O'Hare connection. You go 1 mile from Nathaniel and Allison and Josephine and Tilly's home, and you're on the blue line, and then you end up inside O'Hare.
Okay.
You're actually in the airport. You get out, and you're like, I'm here.
That works out good.
I love that. Better than driving
That's
there,
great.
getting dropped off. Nathaniel's son, thank you. Well done.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Nathaniel's son in Chicago, ESPN 93.5. Did you know? All right, the news is next. It's DVD for Dick Van Dyke. If you want $500 to buy an appliance, 217-359-2255, Fisher National Bank. Text line. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
It's dollar stretching season at Brock. Now's the time to get an outstanding deal on Brock's full line of storage, conditioning, handling, and structure products for your grain. As an authorized independent Brock dealer, Paul's in Villa Grove can help you stretch your hard-earned dollars while providing a proven Brock system that offers greater quality and value. Don't delay. The earlier you buy, the better the pricing. See Paul's today. These deals won't last long. paulsmachine.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Death and destruction in India. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. After a plane crashed right after takeoff, the pilots issued a mayday call, but it went down seconds later.
Images show the Boeing 787 descending out of sight before a huge fireball erupts into the sky.
Fox's Jonathan Savage.
The Air India flight from Ahmedabad to Gatwick Airport in London had more than 240 people on board. Police in the Indian city say it appears there are no survivors. There are also thought to be casualties on the ground, where it crashed onto a hostel for doctors at a medical college.
A curfew for a second night in downtown Los Angeles has just ended after 6 days of protest against illegal immigration raids, which have spread to many other cities. In L.A., District Attorney Nathan Hochman warns rioters.
There's a tremendous amount of video out there through social media and otherwise. We will know who you are, who engaged in this conduct. We will track you down. We will arrest you. We will prosecute you.
President Trump posted on Truth Social, without the Marines and National Guard, he said Los Angeles would be a crime scene like we haven't seen in years. But California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat, calls the deployment illegal, making things worse. And today there's a court hearing on his lawsuit,
asking that the National Guard troops federalized by President Trump be put back under his command. The DOJ has described that action by Governor Newsom, that legal action, as, quote, a crass political stunt.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in L.A. President Trump's again warned Iran.
They can't have a nuclear weapon. Very simple.
This amid reports Israel could take action in Iran after the UN's atomic watchdog says Iran is in violation with continued uranium enrichment, with Iran saying it'll even build a new site to make more nuclear fuel. We just got a new inflation update. Wholesale prices rose slightly last month from April, 0.1%. The annual rate also increased a bit from 2.4 to 2.6%. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
We just told you that inflation report showing a slight rise in wholesale prices last month. We also found out first-time unemployment claims were the same last week as the prior one, 248,000. However, 54,000 more Americans continued to collect jobless benefits, now over 1.95 million, the most since November 2021. On Wall Street, stock futures are down before the opening bell this hour. The boss keeps criticizing the president.
Trump critic and rock star Bruce Springsteen slammed the Trump administration during his concert in Berlin.
The America that I love, the America that I've sung to you about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration.
Springsteen addressing tens of thousands of fans at a stadium built for the 1936 Olympic Games that still contains relics from the country's dark Nazi past. Following similar comments last month, President Trump posted on Truth Social that Springsteen was overrated and a jerk. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Well, the president's a much bigger fan of the Beach Boys.
Wouldn't it be nice if we
And he posted this morning a tribute to Brian Wilson, the founding Beach Boy who died at the age of 82. The president wrote on Truth Social that Brian Wilson was a true musical genius, right up there with the greatest ever, and his music will live on forever, offering warmest condolences to Wilson's family, friends, and Beach Boys fans. In the NBA Finals, the Pacers just 2 wins away from their first championship.
Mathurin inside, left-handed, off the glass. The Mathurin magic here in Game 3.
Benedict Mathurin led the way for Indiana off the bench, scoring 27 points in just 22 minutes. The Pacers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-107 on ESPN to take a 2-1 series lead. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is
you
Fox
backyard
News.
chefs and grill gurus. Barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Here's a look at local news. Well, a lawsuit peeling back the curtain of what parents said their children faced while at school and practice in Ford County. It includes accusations of grooming and sexually assaulting kids for more than a decade, and the families feel that Paxton Buckley Lotus School District didn't do enough to stop it. School says there were complaints around teacher and coach Robert Pacey. Reports stretch back to 16 years. Champaign County Clerk and Recorder's Office relocating to the Bennett Administrative Center later this summer. The office will begin transitioning to the new location at 102 East Main Street, Urbana, from July 7th through the 18th. During this period, the office closed and will reopen July 21st. Well, personal information for 933 people, including 564 Illinois residents, compromised, according to the Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services. The department says HFS was the target of a phishing scam in February. Email sent from another government email account that had previously been hacked. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Pretty nice weather, my friends. We've had pretty good week going, and a little cooler and rain now. The weather word where they're going to break out quite a bit. Meteorologist Greg Solia. I listen, my friend. I listen. I know what you.
I know you do. Yeah. A little warmth, a little growing degree action, some warmth into the soils, a bit of rain, some additional opportunities to improve dryness and drought in points north and east. What am I missing here, sir?
No, you got it. When I watered the geraniums last night, I had cracked earth, so. Janet's out of town, so I'm glad I got her done. Got a little water going on.
Kudos.
So, yeah.
Kudos.
Thank you.
Yes. The honeydew list, you're just marking it right off
get
there.
her all
Big
done.
red Sharpie.
Yes.
Boom. Gone.
Yeah. Weather brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. Our meteorologist is Greg Solie.
Yes, and this morning's drop monitor has that right here, just slightly north and east, and maybe about Danville up into northwest Indiana. That would be the moderate drought corridor. We've seen improvement from the Kankakee on southward and westward. That includes Champaign County. But again, subsoil's okay. Topsoil, a little bit iffy, and some drier patches for the northern Illinois region. The eastern and southern Iowa will see the likelihood of most of the organized rains initially getting to those westernmost areas of the Corn Belt, Nebraska, Iowa, into the upper Midwestern parts of the Western Lakes region, then kind of trickle down our way. Most each and every day, some degree measured chance of rain. Most days will fall in that 30 to 40% odds with probably 2 significant waves, one timed out for the front part of the weekend and maybe another one towards the middle part of next week as well. But at least temperatures will stay warm, not out of control. Humidity will be up there, but you need that to make rain. No rain today. Nice mild morning. 71 later today. 86 with a partly sunny sky developing and a bit of a south wind. Could be a stray shower after midnight tonight, 67. And the rain chances up to 60% tomorrow afternoon. In particular, the high around 80, 70% likelihood on Saturday, high at 83. And we'll kind of ease back, but not like completely move off the rains. There's still Saturday.
From plumbing warriors to air conditioning conquerors, Classic Plumbing and Air is here to help your home feel better than ever. Whether it's a quick fix or a full system upgrade, they'll show up with the tools, the tech, and the tenacity to get the job done right. Locally owned and operated, they deliver plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Call 217-586-7473 or visit classicplum.com. Classic Plumbing and Air, plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Visit them at classicplum.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you looking to get the most from your money? If not, you should be. A free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an exceptional annual percentage and can really increase your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, switch to Rewards Checking or Rewards Saver from Fisher National. See monthly requirements at any branch or fishernational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
So in LA, and anytime there's unrest, what if you get caught in it in a car? I saw a clip of a woman trying to get to her job in New York, and they just, sorry. I just want to pass by. And there was just no. So anyway, if you are, what if you're surrounded? What if and they start rocking your car? I think it depends where you are. I don't think in Illinois you can keep going. But what if you're fearful for your life? They've made a change in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets.
Boy, you're going to want video on that, right?
True.
Because if you, he said, if you heard it, and they threaten you, they can't just say, F you, you Trump lover. And that's not a threat. So it just would be, but if you really truly, and you can prove it, but you have a long process to prove all that. I mean, I've seen vehicles keep driving and the people are holding on to the front fender. And then one guy fell. How could you do that? If you're afraid.
Yeah.
You get surrounded and they start banging on your windows. I'd definitely take your MAGA hat off. That's for sure. Yeah. Anyway, it's I would say that they say 50% of kids have mental health issues now in America, half the kids. And you know what? If you see some of the clips from some of the folks, these poor souls on the street, they're available to be there because who has the life to go do that? There's a flag right there. Oh, it might be his day off, maybe, but probably not. They probably got that kind of time every day. Government's give them enough money to stay home or something.
That came up in the conversation about the LA riots, and if they're going into other cities, who is doing that?
Well,
who has the time for that?
Big organizations. You get paid pretty good money to lead them. So these are paid.
They're not all paid, but there is some mental health issues, I'm sure.
The instigators are paid. The instigators make buck. They have the same outfits. The Antifa people don't change clothes. They're the same. Get a different color. Go brownish. You're going all black. It's the same outfit I saw in Ferguson and Floyd. I mean,
I see.
They're just, this is a group of people that are anarchists and they want to burn it down because we got this and we stole the land from the Indians.
But if you are getting a memo from someone and a check, you probably do have a little bit of what you need to wear.
Don't think you're getting a check. That's traceable.
Okay.
It's got to be somehow some sort of cash money order, something where you don't get tracked. These are illegal groups that are paying people to break the law.
But you're not going to wear a shirt like I have on today with the flowers and things like that.
Okay,
if I'm getting paid to go somewhere to hold a sign.
Well, you're going to be covered so you can't be identified. Why is that? Because you're going to break the law. why would you want to be identified?
Okay, so
silly.
You're gonna mask up and all.
No,
that.
COVID. Get your mask on. No,
Okay.
these are in a lot of cases these are not good people, and they're there to wreak havoc and put these police officers in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good plan. All right, I want to play a clip of a guy who says he knows why LA is happening, and it's not because they're mad. We will get to that coming up. It's interesting. Quarter after, time for sports headlines.
Blue Jays swept the Cardinals. Yesterday's score was 5-2, setting up a series up in Milwaukee. Actually contemplating going to see that with my Cardinal gear on.
All right.
Brewers 6:40 start here on ESPN 93.5. Philadelphia over the Cubs 7-2. The Pirates will be the next opponent for our Chicago Cubs over on US 105.9 with a 7:05 start. And Houston beat the Chicago White Sox 10-2. Now they've got a game to wrap up that series at 7:10. Stanley Cup Finals continue, and Florida is up 2-1, hosting Edmonton's Oilers at 7 o'clock this evening. Last night in the NBA Finals, Game 3, Pacers are up now 2-1, kind of the underdog in this, but looked good with their 116-107 win over Oklahoma City. Game 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't believe I missed the game. I was really looking forward to it. And I did yard work, went in, and don't remember the rest of the night. So
I had a first cousin and her husband talk to us. We have a little Wednesday supper club, and mentioned that there's a New Zealand broadcaster that is a big Indiana Pacers fan and came to Indianapolis to see these two games, and that their daughter Emily lives over there in New Zealand. And we have the contact information in case we want to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Hear the accent and why he's a Pacers fan.
Well, we could call him right now. It's 2 a.m. Let's get him up.
No, he's come over to Indianapolis.
Oh, he's here
to
now.
See these games.
No,
this is so unusual that the Pacers have made it this far.
Right. No, I think it's been, 2000 or something?
And he's been bragging about it.
Well, good. Kiwis have great accents.
Right.
They really do.
And I think this is the anniversary of the Bulls winning the playoffs. I want to say 1991 championship in the NBA Finals.
I know they won.
June 12, 1991. Bulls defeated the LA Lakers 108-105 in Game 5 to win the first NBA championship.
Well, I remember they won 3. Michael played baseball, came back, they won 3 more.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Michael, the MVP on that.
And then he made Space Jam. A great movie.
Okay.
That's one of the best movies. All right, let's check your weather and get that going. Then I want to play the guy who says it's not about being unhappy with anything. There's a purpose to all of the stuff going on in LA. I mean, it's an interesting what he's saying. So we'll get that played. Hey, we have a Stever. We are offering $500 to get an appliance at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. All you got to do is go to 217-359-2255. You can send DVD, make it easy. Dick Van Dyke, $500. I'm going to do this for 2 people today.
Sounds good.
And it's very, very nice. And
Dick Van Dyke at 1510 North Neal Street in Champaign, right off I-74.
I am having a hard time with my new dishwasher that are now a little over a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We both got them at the same time.
Yep.
And my pod isn't melting. I've talked about this before. Pods go bad?
I don't know.
Mine won't. The door will open, but the thing just stays. What's up? I think I've read, according to AI, pods can go bad.
Okay.
So I need to address that.
Okay.
All right, we'll break for the weather with meteorologist Greg Soye. Come back with your Fox Business. See how these markets are going to open. Are we really making a trade deal with Japan, with China? I think that's on the table.
Okay.
I think they've agreed in principle. President Xi and Trump both have to agree totally. That's coming up. The theme to Nathaniel's son. Now we check weather with our meteorologist, Greg Soye.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity, and a little more active and moisture-laden weather patterns shaping up here over the end portion of the week, over the weekend, including Father's Day, and we'll get into daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms the better part of next week, as well as the warm and humid summery weather pattern continues on. Up to 86 today, a partly sunny sky, a pickup in humidity, and a light south wind, mostly cloudy tonight, for a shower or thunderstorm after midnight tonight. night, lows down to about 67. Tomorrow, very cloudy, humid, couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Scattered coverage is there, the high around 80. More shower and thunderstorm activity scattered tomorrow night, lows near 70. And some pretty good odds at rainfall for both Saturday and to a lesser degree on Sunday, though. Highs up to 83 on Saturday. Sunday high, Father's Day high of about 82. Then daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms Monday through Friday next week. Nighttime readings in the 60s, daytime readings into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice Greg Soldier.
Sarah Champagne's been Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papadel's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheeseburgers, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Dr. Omar Kokar. So why is gut health so important and how do I do it?
About 20 years ago, our understanding was really one-sided traffic between the brain and the gut, meaning that if you feel butterflies in your stomach or all these terms that we use, it means that your brain or your mood might inform your GI activity, meaning that if you're stressed out, you get constipated. It's very common in females. But what we're learning now about gut health is that directionality between the brain and the gut is actually bidirectional. And what I mean by that is that we now have very compelling, good quality data that shows your gut microbiome may be responsible for a number of other things with your health, including mental health, appetite control, physical activity, athletic performance, sleep, and even mood.
Omar Kokar is an MD, board-certified gastroenterologist from OSF Healthcare.
OSFhealthcare.org.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Prices at the wholesale level came in cooler than expected in May. The producer price index rose just 0.1%, also up 0.1 for the core reading, excluding food and energy. For the year ending in May, the PPI was up 2.6%, core PPI was up 3%. Both of those readings were more modest than economists were predicting. The report follows a drop of 0.5% in April. Inflation measured by the PPI peaked at 11.7% in March of 2022. New claims for unemployment benefits came in at 248,000, holding at an 8-month high. Economists blame the end of the school year. Continuing claims, those remaining on benefits, rose to 1.95 million. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Can you look up U.S. Open for me? Because I forgot. It's on USA Network right now. The U.S. Open is traditionally very difficult to play the golf course. This is where if you miss the fairway, you're in ankle-deep grass, and you'll be lucky to chip it out unless it's been tamped down by people. But the normal miss, just barely off the fairway, is going to be a problem. And they have something called a stimp meter. It tells you how fast everything's rolling. Normally in golf, the stimp could be 9 or 10. That's how fast it's going to roll. Maybe 11. Tournaments, maybe 12. This is purportedly 15 and a half, which means go putt on a glass top table and try and stop it.
Whoa.
That's how fast these greens apparently are going to be. So if you're into golf.
At the Oakmont Country Club.
Yep, Pennsylvania.
Yep. I believe.
So anyway, it's I guess it's brutal for the golfer. This is a mental test because it's not fair. It won't stop. Yeah, I know, but it's the same for everybody. So we will see how they navigate. Rory McIlroy shot 81, felt he played pretty well in a practice round. So there's that. He had to bird the last 2 holes. Otherwise, he had 83.
Man.
Rory McIlroy shot 83?
Right.
No, 81. He got birdies on the last 2 holes.
Wow.
Anyway, it's going to be a real challenge. Can Scotty Scheffler, he's big enough and strong enough. You got to hit it really far because it's also 7,500 yards. That's what the normal PGA length is. That means you got a 289-yard par 3. I don't know if I get there in 2. Man. Anyway, that's just golf. All right, 8:25. We're going to have our pit master extraordinaire. It is Tim Onstad.
Yes.
Coming up. Hey, when you're ready to sell your home, you want to work with a real estate agent that uses proven marketing plans to get your home in front of the most qualified buyers. Nate Evans and his team standing by. Taylor recently worked with the Nate Evans Group to sell her home and said they were there for her from start to finish, took care of all the details to make her home selling experience completely stress-free.
Yeah, don't let bad advice from inexperienced agents cost you thousands of dollars. In this market, you can't afford to work with someone who has little experience. And Nate's team has been a part of more than 100 home sales in their career, each member. So you don't hire inexperienced agents. You can trust Nate and his team to get it done. And you can call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty, getting you that immediate cash offer. You talk about your timeline and then sell your home for the most money possible. Maybe get ready to buy your next one with Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group. It's 217-239-7113 or do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Racing, racing, racing. Friday Night Lights at Farmer City Raceway is a blast. Only $15 admission and kids 12 and under are free. This Friday, June 14th, has Matco Tool Night, $1,000 tool spree to the late mods winner, Dyer's Top Rods mods, and a full show. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City with hot laps at 6:30. Details at farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Are you or a loved one 65 and older and need to schedule your free annual Medicare wellness visit? An annual Medicare wellness visit allows you and your healthcare provider to establish a personalized prevention plan for your healthcare. Call your Christie Clinic primary care provider to learn more and schedule your free annual Medicare wellness visit. Stay well with Christie Clinic.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com. Well, tell me, Tim Onstad, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
Disaster rains from the sky. Air India Flight 171 bound for London with 244 passengers aboard went down shortly after takeoff, now embedded in a city building with its tail sticking out in Ahmedabad, India. Police say no apparent survivors, some 30 casualties on the ground. Boeing rushing a team to support the Dreamliner 787 crash. President Trump posting Los Angeles was safe and sound for the last 2 nights. A great National Guard with a little help from Marines put the LA police in a position to effectively do their job, but without them, LA would be a crime scene. A late night for the president, booed and cheered at the Kennedy Center opening of Les Mis last night. Wholesale inflation came in cooler than expected in May, echoing the CPI, up just 0.1% or 2.6% for the year. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, a lawsuit peeling back the curtain of what parents said their children faced while at school and practice in Ford County. It includes accusations of grooming and sexually assaulting kids for more than a decade, and the families feel that Paxton Buckley Lotus School District didn't do enough to stop it. School says there were complaints around teacher and coach Robert Pacey. Reports stretch back to 16 years. Champaign County Clerk and Recorder's Office relocating to the Bennett Administrative Center later this summer. The office will begin transitioning to the new location at 102 East Main Street, Urbana, from July 7th through the 18th. During this period, the office closed and will reopen July 21st. Well, personal information for 933 people, including 564 Illinois residents, compromised, according to the Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services. The department says HFS was the target of a phishing scam in February. Email sent from another government email account that had previously been hacked. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
We check your weather. Our meteorologist Greg Solier will look at some rain headed our way.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity, and a little more active and moisture-laden weather pattern shaping up here over the end portion of the week, over the weekend, including Father's Day, and we'll get into daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms the better part of next week, as well as the warm and humid summery weather pattern continues on. Up to 86 today, a partly sunny sky, a pickup in humidity, and a light south wind. Mostly cloudy tonight, threat for a shower and thunderstorm after midnight tonight, lows down to about 67. Tomorrow, fair but cloudy, humid, couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Scattered coverage is there, the high around 80. More shower and thunderstorm activity scattered tomorrow night, lows near 70. And some pretty good odds at rainfall for both Saturday and to a lesser degree on Sunday, though. Highs up to 83 on Saturday. Sunday high, Father's Day high of about 82. Then daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms Monday through Friday next week. Nighttime readings in the 60s, daytime readings into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice Greg Solier.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstad. Smoke in Tim's grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstad. Fresh off a competition while he played injured, Tim Onstad, pitmaster, also in charge of TFT, Forex Trucking, and dedicated diesel home of the Dixie Chopper, the fastest lawnmower in the world. And yeah, I can't believe you got fourth in chicken. I mean, that's amazing. Your chicken. I mean, you guys are becoming a decathlete. You can do it all, man.
Mm-hmm.
You want the rest of the story?
I want to know, number one, how are you? You got to be hobbled, man.
Oh, they put some Go Juice in there. We're doing okay.
All right, good.
We're a little bit sore, but you know.
He had a bad knee event. You snapped something, popped something in your knee, and you were on crutches. And then you took Happy Juice, and you were able to perform, and you played hurt. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the rest of the story on the chicken.
Yeah.
It was actually a tie for second.
Oh, man.
And we lost 2 tiebreakers to get fourth.
So really you were second place. Forget the tiebreakers and chicken, man. Number 2, baby. That's what do you do differently on that?
4 out of the 6 judges scored it a perfect on chicken.
Wow.
We made some changes. Like I had said Thursday, we're going to try some things. We got some more flavor into it. We ground up the rub and did a finishing dust on the top of it, and that kind of it was a little bit salty, but with chicken, salt wins, and that got us over the top and got us into. We beat some teams that we never beat before, including the newly crowned world champion.
Come on, man! What's the guy's name?
Albie Ransom with Scuffletown Smokers.
Albie?
Albie.
I would have gone, say, Albie, you're unbelievable, and you got a good little chicken program going there. If you need some tips, I'm around, bud. Here's my number.
Albie's a great guy. He was parked across the road from us, and we've known him for a long time, and he has deserved everything he's gotten and what he's done in barbecue. But it's just an internal win when you're able to compete with people like that.
No kidding. World champion there, fella. That's just amazing.
Yep.
That really is good. So obviously your changes were effective.
Yeah, and I'm going to say Donna's boxing has gotten just incredible. Our appearance scores, we had an extra category with turkey smoke this weekend, but out of 36 judges that looked at our boxes, we only had 3 that deducted a point for appearance on anything. So the presentation has stepped up in our game. Friday night's rib contest, we got 10th. But if we would have had put out the same product on Saturday in the ribs category, that score would have gotten us 8th. And yeah, it's just incredible how close these things are. So that tie for second in chicken was like 1.14 points out of first place.
Unbelievable. And you had, again, you're talking about the dusting. I really want to, because I put chicken on the grill a lot, and sadly, I'm tired of Lowry seasoning salt.
Well, what it does, and this is good for everybody in their backyard smokes too. When you take that bottle of rub that or seasoning, whatever that you're putting on the chicken, that has been in that bottle for how long before it gets
Never
there?
Thought of that. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that. Now I'm going to question my Lowry's. It has been in the bottle a while, though.
So what we're doing is we're breaking that down. There's oils. That flavor comes from the oils and things in that rub. So we're breaking that back down and releasing. You can tell in the smell when you smell it out of the bottle, and then you put it in the grinder and grind it up.
So what is the grinder you speak of? Where do I can I put my Lowry seasoning salt from Schnucks into my grinder? Will it get better?
There are spice grinders. I don't know about Lowry's, but there are spice grinders that you can get. We've actually stumbled onto something a little bit better. We got a smoothie maker somewhere. And it had blades in it, and Donna thought, well, let's try this, and it grinds it up into the best powder.
Nice.
Every day. So what's a machine like that cost? What's a machine like that cost?
I have no idea.
All right. So but you get a powder, and then you dust it on top when it's done, and it just gives it a pop.
We put it on after we sauce, and here's another trick. We sauce that we dip our chicken in the sauce. That's how we sauce it. Put it on a cooling rack, and then put it back in the smoker for about 5 to 7 minutes. We pull it out, and right before it goes into the box, we just do that twice with chicken, and it gets a nice glossy sheen to it and looks pretty. And then we just sprinkle with our fingers, the finishing dust on top of the sauce, and what it does, it soaks. You can stand and watch it disappear into the sauce.
Man, that's so cool.
Man, my mouth is watering
you got
right
four
now, Tim.
perfect scores, man, on your chicken.
Then we shoot it with a mist of apple juice right before it goes into the box.
Wow.
And that you can't see the finishing dust. It disappears. But the flavor's there.
Wow. Well, the expert,
gives a
Pitmaster extraordinaire Tim Onstadt. That's
And then you got a little garnish of parsley or something to dress up the box. Is that why she was perfect on her presentation?
Well, we put. I think she did kale this weekend. There are certain garnish that you can use and some that you can't. A lot of times, most of the time, we use leaf lettuce and cut discs out of it and make pudding greens inside the box. It's just a flat green surface out of lettuce. That does really well. And this time I think she used kale, and that's a tedious process making these boxes and getting them ready for the meat, because we pull the box out of the refrigerator, and she's got a wet paper towel over the garnish, so we just pull it off, and that's kind of holds it in place, and then we place the meat in there.
Man, I'm telling you what, this has got the X's and O's, baby. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's...
Well, next week we're going to start talking about our 4th of July prep. We're going to do some things for 4th of July, maybe.
That's good.
But, and I'll give out your home address so people can find you for pizza.
My hometown of Tolono, they're always doing the fun day grilling out and Pitmaster and all that. We have our Pitmaster Sean Talbot making some pork sandwiches for everybody, and the proceeds help Tolono Fun Day and our fireworks fund. So I'll be anxious to hear about some of your things for summer grilling.
You betcha. All right, so Gelferix Trucking, do I need resumes? You need a driver? You need a backup? You need a waiting list? What are you looking for out there?
Well, we've got pretty much a full contingent right now. I do know of a couple of situations that I have a driver possibly moving out of the area. That'll open up a spot, and a retirement coming up. The guy's been here long enough to retire, and going to go out on top, I guess. But yeah, we'll have a couple of spots opening up here next month and in August, and be ready to bring somebody in and get another strategic team member on our side.
Well, and you are the best trainer. You really teach them how to do it, and they learn a lot. And at home on weekends, it's a heck of a job for trucking, that's for sure.
Well, safety is important, and it's my responsibility that everybody gets home safe. So I take that pretty serious, and we want to make sure everybody goes out, makes their money, and gets home so they can enjoy quality family time and have a good life.
Okay, Dixie Chopper and Dedicated Diesel, you can get your machine tuned up out there with Andy, but you can probably still buy one. I know they're getting thin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got them for sale, and everything from the residential up to commercial machines they're ready to go. And, we're talking about saving time so that you have time to barbecue. Here this year, Donna has had me working in the yard with her gardens, helping her get gardens going. And that's really cut into my leisure time a little bit. But with being able to mow so fast, she still gets her work done.
Nice. All right, my friend, how can people connect with Tim on Stott?
They can get me on email at timo@gftlog.com. They can call the office at 765-793-7131. Always get a hold of Andy and Urbana at 217-328-0562.
All right, my friend, continue to repair your body. We'll talk next
Yes.
week. Thank you so much for being on.
We'll rest up.
All right,
Thank you,
my friend.
Stevie.
Thank you.
Take
Tim
care.
Onstott, Yale Frericks Trucking, dedicated diesel pitmaster extraordinaire.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 4 perfect scores on chicken.
I know.
And I like my Lowry seasoning salt, but I need to go a little deeper.
Yeah.
I need to go a little deeper. I need a grinder.
With the Regional Planning Commission, they had a booth yesterday at Neighborhood Nights with the Urbana Park District, and Irene's husband is selling all these spices and stuff. So I'm looking forward to tasting some of those flavors he's put together
Gotta
for
go.
chicken and beef.
Go find that grinder.
Mm-hmm.
8:45.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution. Subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC. Member FINRA, SIPC. MSTC and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, thanks for coming into our studio and discussing the experience about buying your first home. What are the first steps you should take, and how can your team help at Nate Evans Group?
Yeah, I mean, buying your first home can be super scary. Maybe not even scary is the right word. There's just a lot of unknown. So I think the important item for somebody to find is clarity on what that looks like. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I'm probably calling the Nate Evans Group, and I'm going to ask to speak with one of the local experts in there that's specific to the area they're trying to search. And we're going to sit down with them. We can keep it super easy. We usually do it over the phone first, and then we can do an in-person meeting at a house that they choose or they like. And we'll talk them through next steps, pre-approvals, refining criteria, and then next thing you know, we're finding houses off market for them that don't exist, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of buyers right now.
Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style, so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
All right, check your sports headlines, 8:48.
Well, Toronto had their way with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Stevie, Cardinal fans are grumpy right now.
Yeah, well, it won't take much, because then they just want to say, I told you so. Mm-hmm. And they lost 2 one-run games that were brutal. I mean, so they could have won 2 out of 3. They lost lost all 3.
Well, and still talk about people aren't showing up to the games.
I don't know. I just think that, again, the Cardinals made 0 moves in the offseason, and the Cardinal fans didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they let Paul Goldschmidt go and be a star for the Yankees. He's having a wonderful year.
I know.
So, you tried to trade Nolan Arenado, but nobody wanted him because there's too much money.
I see.
You think he gets $35 million a year? So he's good, but that's a lot.
Well, thanks for that recap. Did I hear Adam Wainwright was dabbling in politics?
Well, I think they're asking him. I mean, I think he lives in Florida now.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he would probably work in Florida, and I think by all accounts, is a super guy.
Interesting.
He says not now.
Okay.
Maybe later.
5-2, Toronto on top. Now we'll gear up for a series in Milwaukee with the Brewers with the 6:40 start here on ESPN 93.5. Philadelphia beat the Cubs yesterday 7-2. Now it's the Pirates with a 7:05 start over on US 105.9. Houston had their way with the Chicago White Sox. That final was 10-2, and they've got a game at 7:10 to wrap up that series. It's the Stanley Cup Finals tonight at 7. Edmonton's in Florida to take on the Panthers, who lead the series 2-1. In Game 3 yesterday in the NBA Finals, Pacers came out on top over Oklahoma City 116-107. Game 4 tomorrow. Pacers are up in that series 2-1. That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now at Lands, it's a great time to buy a new Trane heating and cooling system. We are offering special financing or up to $1,500 off any qualifying Trane system. At Lands, we know what it takes to deliver exceptional comfort, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you are thinking of a new comfort system, now is the time to buy. And remember, it's hard to stop a Trane. I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Don't forget, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign event of Saturday, more typical June weather in our midst and increasing rainfall prospects as well going forward for the end part of the week, into the weekend and early next week as well, with daily outbreaks and varying scope coverages, amounts, and intensities right through at least mid to late next week, including perhaps a couple of showers around for Father's Day Sunday. Partly sunny, warm for the day today, no mention of rain, turning a bit more humid as the day wears on, up to 86 and a light south wind, maybe a shower thunderstorm in spots after midnight tonight, and a dawn temperature down to 67. Tomorrow, variably cloudy, humid, couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon, scattered, the high near 80. Down tomorrow night to around 70 with showers and thunderstorms early and late, and scattered showers and thunderstorms morning and afternoon on Saturday. Highs up to about 83 there. Then a daily outbreaks expected for Sunday, Father's Day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with 80s by day and mid to upper 60s at night. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solgay.
All right, 3 months from now, we'll be talking about Chicago Bears season opener.
Bear down,
they got to open.
Chicago Bears.
I don't know where they play, but they're going to be heard on Q96 WQQB. This will be year 2. And in my career here at Stevie J Broadcasting, we've never picked up a team that hasn't won a world championship. So there's that.
Here we go.
So can the Bears break through with their brand new young offensive coordinator guy from Detroit that is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears? Can Caleb Williams develop into that kind of quarterback?
Let's go.
You'll hear the Chicago Bears.
Week 1, Sunday,
week.
August 10th. Miami Dolphins.
September 10?
Or August 10th?
It's preseason, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know if we carry preseason. Do we carry preseason? I have no
I'm
idea.
sorry to
Where's the
start
regular
that?
Season starts in September, I think, after the Illini
Yes,
open.
you're right. That is preseason. Ooh, it's a tough preseason. Regular season is Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
On a Monday night football game, September 8th at 7:15.
Okay. Well, you got this J.J. McCarthy. He graduated from Michigan. He got hurt immediately after he was their first pick in Minnesota. He's out the whole year.
Oh, man.
And he's picked like a top 10 quarterback. I think he's a fine young man with a fine athletic. Well, how do you know? The NFL is night and day from college. I don't know if J.J. McCarthy, he's the guy that put the knee down 2 years ago. It was 4th down. Illinois would have had the ball. We would have won in Ann Arbor.
It was that guy?
That guy. J.J. McCarthy. They did win a national title with him as quarterback, but
Okay.
I think they had a running attack that was crazy. Maybe he is that good. Maybe it's just because he's from Michigan. I don't know, but we'll see.
Well, right after that game against Minnesota, Monday Night Football for the Chicago Bears, it'll be the Detroit Lions on Sunday, September 14th
That's
at noon.
Tough division with the Packers, Lions, and Minnesota. Good golly. All right, we're going to close shop. We'll be back tomorrow on Friday. That'll be the 13th. That's tomorrow. This is June 12, and the rain starts perhaps after midnight, according
That's
to
right.
meteorologist Greg Solier. So just be alert that over the next 7 days, we'll have some pop-up storms. It's just going to be one of those, it's going to rain today? Maybe. That's what you say.
That's right.
See how much we get. The farmers need it. I think everybody kind of needs it for their grass.
Hear the show anytime, StevieJay.com. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Thursday.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local, where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic, your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community. Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
I was born in Louisiana.
July of 1936, the world welcomed George Buddy Guy.
What a guy that is.
Now, after live performances spanning generations, the legend says goodbye. Buddy Guy, the Damn Right Encore. June 24th, the Virginia Theater. Special guest, Taj Farrant. Tickets on sale now at thevirginia.org. From the Damn Right Farewell Tour comes the Damn Right Encore. Buddy Guy, live.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone on why integrity is important at Sarah.
We hire the person. The person makes the deal. The person makes the department. The person makes everyone around them treat people with courtesy and respect. If you have a quality human being, you can play any position, right? We're talking about sports. They can perform in any department, and I could teach someone a job, but I can't teach them to be a good person.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Dolan with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace,
Yeah.
Your heat system, air conditioning,
Some
they do
pumps,
that.
yeah.
And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these Orange Comfort Clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. Truth is in seeing it.
Yeah.
We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out. I was just learning more at landsinc.com.